From humble beginnings, you have shown remarkable growth. Leave your bronze for iron, and rule with horse and sword. The sky above begins to reveal its secrets, a collection of heaven that uplifts our hearts and guides us to foreign shores.
Great Shogun, Tokugawa Ieyasu, you know well that the patient blade is the one that will strike home.
Hello. Okay. The fuck? Let's just leave that builder. Cut our losses. Oh, you know what? I think I need to, I gotta update whatever it's saying on stream. Yeah, I started this, I played at like 2 hours into this one, I think. Something like that. It's really more of a, this is really more of a filler game right now. This is really more of a filler game right now. Okay. Because I got like a mighty urge to play Elden Ring today, but it's not downloaded onto my PC, so and I maybe could have had enough time to download it, but I kind of got cold feet because it's like it's already downloaded on my PS4 and it's fucking $80, you know, to get Shadow of Erdtree also, so I was kind of sat on my hands for too long and missed the opera. But I don't think, I don't know. It's such a big game. I kind of doubt whether I would have had enough time to actually make it happen anyway. So here we are. Yeah, let's do iron.
Gott grüße euch, Geselle.
Oh, you're
Ich bin
new.
Kaiser Friedrich und herrsche über deutsche und welsche Lande, über Burgund und manche mehr. Ich weiß wohl, dass auch ihr kundgeherrschen mit rechter Gewalt.
Okay. Oh, whoops! Sorry. One second, I just gotta find the right display capture. Hello. How are you, Josie? It's been a minute.
Welcome to the United States
goodness.
of America. If you conduct yourself well, you can consider us friends.
This is like the beefiest Teddy Roosevelt I've ever seen. My God. What fun. I've never encountered America in this game. we'll be fine. One more attack and they're done. I know Crystal. Do. Oh, no, 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 no. That is so fucking stupid. No. No, no, no. God, sometimes I hate the AI in this game. Ridiculous. Do they not? Are you not gonna? Oh, okay. They did. They shot back. It's okay. It's okay. Do 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 do. Yada. Hi, Spooky Teeth. I'm feeling kind of. How's everybody doing? I myself am feeling a little antsy. I'm feeling that work itch, you know. When am I gonna play The Evil Within? To be honest, I hadn't thought about it. I suppose I should. Sloppy? What are you talking about? Hi, Babadook. How are you? Oh, God, I want to get up there faster. Better go here. I do not want a fucking city-state up there. That is mine. Mine, I tell you. I feel work itch, but you're not scratching enough. Worst of both worlds, truly. Yeah. My head is full of work things, which is good. It's good. I feel myself getting to the point with the dissertation that I have to take intentional breaks, you know, which is extremely good. That means I'm in good shape. Means I'm working properly. But still, it makes me feel like I should be working more or harder, or if I don't like get everything possible done in one day, then I'm doing it wrong, or you know, etc., etc. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm also interested in creating a lasting legacy. Because
looks like we should go this way. Right. Irrigation. Let's do a settler. No. Oh my god. Why can I not go here? What seems to be the problem? Oh yes, volume slider, it's important. Oh fuck. Oh my god, no! Okay, it's fine. We'll manage. Why? That's super duper annoying. Am I insane? Yeah, yeah, Barbarian's Builder. There's nothing else here, right? So what's going on there? Is it a bug or what's going on? Up you go. Yeah, do it again. Bye, Wolf! Benevolent or ruthless this playthrough. We're being pragmatic. That's the vibe. I'll either go for a cultural victory or a scientific victory. I hope they just left town. And that would be best for me. Oh, that was a poor decision. I forgot about these archers. Whoopsie. Well. We'll see what happens.
Meine Feinde und ob ihr ihnen helft.
Continue what? You're the only person I've met. Ridiculous. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Y'all, it's not looking great. It's not looking great for the great Japanese Empire. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh yeah, this isn't gonna work out for me. I may just have to, oh my god. We're gonna have to conquer this city-state, I think. Yeah. Maybe just head back down. What did Hampton do to you? And what the fuck is this fishing boat about? I'm very, very confused about that. I don't like it. Oh my god. Why can't I take this builder? I don't understand it. But just kill him. I just want him off my map at this point. No, not the plague. Is Hampton a witch?
It was luxuries like air conditioning that brought down the Roman Empire.
Oh, let's see what we got here. Yeah, I'll take that. Give me some production towards settlers, please. Oh no! Problems. Give me games and recreation. This is the weirdest, kind of the weirdest technology shuffle I've ever seen. Let's. I don't like ley lines. I don't really do religion. This isn't really a war run. What do we think? Maybe I should just do vampires. I think I will. Okay. Teddy Roosevelt, also a bloodthirsty warmonger. Good to know. What the fuck? Go here, I don't know. What do we think? Can he make it up there in time? Probably not. Oh my god. Oh my god. Jesus. Just completely one-shotted me. That was unfair. Hurt my feelings. Ghost man. Hannah the Lantana. Yay, propagation time! Send me some. I'll plant some lantana around here. They'll probably do pretty well next to the house. I might be the other non-work thing that I do today. I might pot up some of my tomatoes and I don't know. I've started a few seeds and it seems like most of them are ready to be potted up. I think I have finally mastered seed starting. I really struggled with it for about a year. But it seems like I've got it pretty much down. All my seedlings look awesome. These eras are passing really fast. Did I not I can't remember what length of game I picked. I'm pretty sure it was the longest. Maybe it wasn't. That's okay. I'm not super invested in this playthrough. Oh my god. I think Lantana can be killed. And how nice that is. Lantana's lovely. Oh no. Oh no. Jesus. Oh my god. God damn it. Okay. Okay, we'll tell him. I just want to find out what game length I picked. Next turn. Legume ground cover is lovely. Yeah, we can do that. I have some scallions out there growing pretty well next to my bigger onions. I worry about the bigger onions. I kind of think that they're not going to bulb up and it's just going to be just amazing looking leaves that don't actually turn into anything. But that's okay. It's more for the experience. But the scallions look all right. And then I noticed that, like, I threw just, like, tossed some thyme seeds in there like 5 months ago and assumed that none of them were going to come up. But I found some growing yesterday really well, so they're still little babies, but it's super strong thyme. Medieval era, hey, that's what I like to see. That's great, but what length am I on? Please tell me! How do I find that out? Surely it's in options, right? Maybe not. Maybe if I quick save, return to main menu. Yes. I don't think I like that very much either, Spooky Teeth. I don't blame you. Load game. This one. Map size, huge. Okay, great. Ancient. Yeah, I know. Marathon. Okay, so everybody's just really great at the game, I guess. And just knocking out those technologies like it's nothing.
From the first stirrings of
happening.
life beneath water, to the great beasts of the Stone
That's
Age,
fine.
to man taking
This
his
fish is so
first
cute.
upright
I love
steps,
him.
you have come far. Now begins your greatest quest.
He's begging for
From this
din-dins.
early cradle of civilization,
And it
on
actually is his
towards the
din-din time.
stars.
Great Shogun,
Hey, Fishy.
Tokugawa Ieyasu,
Fishy.
you know
Come on.
well that the patient blade is the one that will strike.
Blah, blah, blah. Hey, what's going on here? rebellion in 2 turns. What? Why did I lose a city? I'm in a golden age. That's not supposed to happen. What the fuck is going on with this game? Fuck's sake. Where did I get a slinger? What is going on? Why? Oh. I know what happened.
From humble beginnings, you
What
have
people don't
shown
understand
remarkable
about
growth. Leave
about
your bronze
dialogue,
for iron and rule with horse
and I understand
sword.
why people use this
The
euphemism,
sky above
but
begins to
it's not the
reveal
case.
secrets,
Nobody talks
collection
the
of
way
heaven
that dialogue
that
works.
uplifts
You know
our
what I mean?
hearts and guides us to foreign
Anytime,
shores.
Great
God, I can't.
shogun,
Anytime anybody talks
Tokugawa
about
Ieyasu.
people not acting that way or not talking that way, it's just like kind of a moot point. It's not really saying a whole lot of anything, because when we say that people don't talk that way, like that is euphemistic speaking, you know, like we're referring to something in a very, very generalized fashion to indicate a way that we feel about it, not any like objective quality about the dialogue itself. Nobody talks the way that they talk in movies ever. So I don't know what that means, you know. If you're gonna make a video essay about it, not that I'm criticizing this person, I haven't seen that video. I probably won't, unless I just like come across it organically, I guess, because I don't. Maybe we'll just, I don't know, because I don't care about Stranger Things. But that's like, this is why it matters that so many film YouTubers never went to film school and don't actually care about, film criticism or the language used to actually do it. It's not like a... I'm trying to say this diplomatically, but like, a lot of film YouTubers just don't really take film criticism very seriously. Man, I'm salty today. Production toward building this district. What was I supposed to do? I don't care. Just fucking Catholicism. Fuck it. And then here, let's do city center, because I want to build some walls. Like an older young Sheldon. Wouldn't that just be Sheldon? And this is why acting is hard, right? This is why
the people of Australia as their Prime Minister. We seek sympathetic allies in the fight against the hawks of war.
Terrific. This is why acting is a craft and an art. This is why acting is difficult, right? Like, this is why good actors are able to make it look really easy. They're able to make what they're saying sound natural. It's the same kind of the same kind of people who think that like, oh, nobody talks like that is like adequate criticism. And like, I get it. Like, I have said that too. I'm not saying that that's like a, you know, just a wholly inappropriate criticism to lob against movie dialogue. But like, you got to qualify it, because that doesn't say a whole lot on its own. You know, it's the kind of thing that if you do it well, it looks natural, but it isn't. It's the same kind of thing happens with acting. good actors are able to make it seem natural.
Writing means sharing. It's part of...
Let's do horseback riding. Horsies! Consider performance in the word. Did I ever care about Stranger Things? Not really. When did it come out? Like 2018? I watched the first season. I was like, this is good. And I just stopped caring. And then I just got annoying. It went on way too long. I'm a grouchy person by nature, and I was sick of hearing about it. Reclaim the peninsula! Walls. Yes, Emily, it's so true. That's one of my favorite things about Sinners is that there are parts where there are parts of that movie that lean into the theatricality of it, you know, that make it almost a musical in that way, where they really are just there sort of singing out their intentions and motivations in a way that you probably wouldn't do if you were actually trying to gain entrance into that place as a vampire. Sinners is sort of like, it's not anti-realism. There's still like realistic aspects about it. But it's not trying to, it's not making an, you know, like a value neutral, well, or like an unqualified virtue out of realism, which is a huge departure from the Hollywood status quo right now. And I don't think it's a mistake. And if Hollywood had smart people working in it, and if we didn't live in a police state, and if all our media weren't state media right now, then there would be so many filmmakers understanding that that realism is not the fucking thing anymore. I'm not convinced it ever really was. I think that it was always kind of a technology thing, and we're kind of working on a video about that right now. But it is all state media right now. We do live in a police state, so. Say goodbye to our soft power. Goodbye, American cultural hegemony. See you later. Let's make... I think we do need a builder. Yeah. Yeah, I'm giving a talk at NC State in a couple weeks, which is actually going to be public and filmed apparently. So if y'all want to sit in on that Zoom meeting or see the recording, I don't know if it's going to be recorded, but if it is recorded, I'll make it known and drop the link wherever it needs to be dropped. But one of the things that I need to talk about with that presentation is peer review and how disastrous YouTube is for peer review, and I have ideas for how academia can deal with that in its, in however it decides to deal with YouTube. Ideas for how it should do that also. But yeah, the one of the biggest problems with doing any kind of trying to legitimize YouTube as like a good academic publishing resource is that you're sharing a house with all these people who have no idea how to structure an actual critical argument. They have opinions and they say them, and that's okay. I'm not saying that people shouldn't have opinions and shouldn't say them, but that's not what criticism is, you know? What's going on here? Can we purchase walls? That'd be nice. No. Can we purchase... Can I buy, what can I buy? This is a problem. This is what happened last time. Very annoying. Very, very annoying. Shit. Let's see. 50 turns for an archer. That's outrageous. I guess worst case scenario... these settlers can just go up and replace these ones. It's fine. I'm medieval Japan. My citizens are expendable. Shout out Zoe B. Did Zoe B make a video about realism? I try to keep track of her videos. I don't think I saw that. Is it about something else and she talks about realism within it? What video is this? Tell me, tell me. I do want to invent a concept that every time I think I've come up with something, it's just conspicuous consumption again.
As well as physically bigger than a man on foot.
It's, yeah, conspicuous consumption is the thing. It's like kind of the thing right now. For fuck's sake! Ugh, why are they not shooting back? Shoot back. Oh, it's an old S? Okay. I'll go find it. No, Camden, you're not blocked. Fuck, relax. I just got up to the chat. I don't really have any strong feelings about Harmony Korine. Kelly, my research assistant, did they do... No, I'm thinking they didn't. Never mind. They... Kelly did their... Jesus, how is this city still alive? I don't understand it. Go here. Kelly did their master's thesis about another sort of indie filmmaker who's not Harmony Korine, so never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I have lots of thoughts about realism. It's been kind of my, I don't know, theoretical preoccupation lately. I shall be talking about it in this next video I'm doing. Are they immortal? What's going on here? Are they just doomed to an eternity of constantly dying at the hands of the Quadrirem Red Reef barbarians? Oh no. Sometimes YouTube just be that way, Camden. That's, yeah, that's super annoying. I would never ban you. My goodness. To think that you would assume such a thing. Weirdo poisoning is true. Well, I do think Spring Breakers is a silly movie. And those are my thoughts about Harmon Korine. Do I personally know the Oklahoman replacing Chrissy Nome? Carlos, it's pretty offensive for you to say that all Oklahomans know each other. We obviously don't. But I am excited for some good old-fashioned Oklahoma incompetence. Y'all aren't ready. Y'all aren't ready for for how stupid Oklahomans can be. Fucking Christ. Well, I see they finally accomplished their mission. I need, okay. Archers are on their way. Thank God. Go here. Mark Wayne is such a Oklahoma ass name. Any kind of male hyphen name. Really, it's no, I take it back. They're not even hyphens. It's just two names smushed together. Oklahomans love to do that shit. Joe Bob. Joe is great because you can attach it to you can attach it to everything. It is also unisex, so you can be Joe, Joanne, Joe Beth, Bonnie Joe, you know, Mary Joe. That's a good one. So it works for women. You can also be Joe Bob, Joe, Joe John. That's a good one. So then you got two guys that are going to be really upset if you don't name your kid after them. And that's how you end up with this kind of situation. That's how you end up with a Mark Wayne.
Set your course by the stars, not by the lights of every passing ship.
Oh, Camden. You're not annoying. Yeah, we're about to see that 49th in education, baby. Yes. Exactly. Josie. Yeah. I've not seen the lowdown. Should I? Should I make like America and conquer Mogadishu? I kind of want it, you know. I understand that it's of limited practical importance to conquer city-states. But I'm Japan, and I don't like that there are other people on my island. What am I to do? Am I surprised at 49th in education in Oklahoma? No, I'm not surprised at all. That state fucking sucks. Education is for rich kids only. Huge charter school state. The only reason I got anywhere near a good education, my education was pretty good. In high school at least, and in high school, in my high school, we had like actually a pretty advanced math and English program, but only for, you know, kids who showed promise or whatever. Like, you had to apply, and the kids who got in were, you know, obviously generally the more privileged kids, although not entirely. It was a good program. Aegis, it was called Aegis Math and Aegis English, and that was great, but that only happened because Norman is a college town. Any college town is generally going to have pretty good education because they're trying to prime their high school students to go to the local university, and most of my classmates did. But before Aegis, so freshman and sophomore year, I was in just sort of normal track, English, and I never got out of normal track math, because I suck at math. But normal track English at Norman High School, not good. Really not good. I remember very specifically doing like an essay in a computer program. This is pre-AI, obviously, but like AI is not new. We've always had like some degree of AI in all sorts of programs. Machine learning is quite old. It's as old as computers themselves. And so we were, they like sat us, our English teacher sat us down in front of a computer and told us to write a 5-paragraph essay the way you do, you know, the way you're supposed to, or whatever. And you submit it into the computer, and the computer like was supposed to spit it back out and tell you what to improve on. And I did the thing, and I remember very distinctly, it was my first, like, it was like baby's first protest. I received a less than perfect score on that thing, and we were to sit there and work at it until it came back, like, you know, graded past a particular threshold. And I got it back, and it was like a 3 out of 5 or something. And I was like, fuck this, I'm just not gonna do it. Because that was fucking stupid, you know. That's not how, even then I knew that's not how writing ought to be processed or ought to be learned. But this is very much the kind of thing that the Oklahoma school system likes to do. Every worst idea in this country is tried out first in Oklahoma. Pretty rude of them to be on your island, basically asking for it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I know I'm not fooling anyone. I just, sometimes people forget that machine learning is not new. We've had it as long as we've had computers. Yeah, that was a Hampton-ass comment for sure. Oh no, what's your cat up to? Every policy needs a guinea pig trial. In the 70s, I want to say, there was a sort of proof of concept for faster than sound travel, air travel. And the question was, I think I've got this right. the question was whether people would put up with the sound. Like if you got a faster than sound plane, you know, leaving airports every half hour or whatever, is breaking the sound barrier every 20 minutes like really gonna piss people off. And they just they didn't know, and so they thought and they were like, man, what's a city we could try this on, you know, what's a like pilot program we could do. And Oklahoma City was like, here, we'll do it, pick us. It's like a local legend now. Every worst idea this country has ever had is piloted in Oklahoma. They need a builder, I think. Yeah. Trying to climb into a box. When I got all the stuff for the fish tank, they sent me home a couple weeks ago. They sent me home with all of that stuff in a box, and it's like a perfect cat-sized box. It's like 2 feet by 1.5 feet. And I put it by the back door to take it out to the garage, but Tommy loves it so much. So I think I'm just gonna leave it there for her. Yeah, send him to Mogadishu. Fuck it. I'm gonna have to build some roads there eventually. But I want money first. Hi, homonyms. Yes. It's Civ time. Let's do a harbor. Ooh! That's what I like to see. Yes. Fine. We won't conquer Mogadishu. We'll just make friends with them. Ugh. I had to do my trig and calculus homework with an app where you just take a picture and it gives you the answer. In 2018. Jeez. Jesus Louises. How much better do you think education would be if we just cut out bullshit jobs? Made teaching a better job. Look at it. Oh, immeasurably. But cutting out bullshit jobs would have all sorts of like knock-on effects that that would make education better on its own. Even if you kept education exactly the way it was and cut out bullshit jobs in every other sector, it would still be better. I'm certain. I guarantee you there's at least one Japanese person
People who cannot find time for
in
recreation
Mogadishu.
are sooner or later.
I'm tired of being in a chiefdom. I want monumentality. This is the first I've heard of the city of Gifu. I did not know that was a place that existed. Give me... goodness. Boop, 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 boop. Give me like a... I don't know. Fuck. Give me like a campus. I don't love those adjacency bonuses. What are other options? Oh my god. Yeah, I think we need a harbor. Money, money, money. Oh man, I was a humanities girl with what was probably undiagnosed dyscalculia. It was so rough. Is that what it's called? Dyscalculia? That makes sense. Yeah. I think I also have that. My econ classes were really fucking rough. I understood all the concepts just fine, no problem. But econ courses are almost all problem sets. They don't care about history or philosophy, as we've discussed on stream. It's the worst thing about how we teach economics in this country. It's essentially just like, it's essentially just state education. It's the equal opposite of like, you know, having. I'm sure like Chinese universities have like core communism curricula, and our econ courses serve basically the same function for capitalism. No history, no philosophy. Just math, pretty much. And I'm really bad at math, so I had to get a bunch of friends to help me out there. Oh, Project Hail Mary. Yeah, I guess maybe. If I'm sure in a week or two I'll want to go see a movie, and it'll probably be out. I'll probably go see it. Why not? Man, I'm having a real itch to conquer Mogadishu. Might get bored later in this playthrough and do that. I want those diamonds. I don't know. Melee. I care not. We're a purely secular religion here on the island of Bizarro, Japan. Oh yeah, unlearning economics is good. The London School of Economics is good. They're actually well tolerant of like heterodox economics, first of all, which is unusual. And they are producing, you know, good scholarship there. That's where David Graeber was when he died. That was like the only institution that would hire him. Fortunately, I'm not as smart as David Graeber. I'm not as high profile, so I'm hoping that that I won't be quite so scary to universities when I'm on the job market next year. Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the public education it was structured to prepare children for factory work? Yeah, no, well, yeah. I mean, in a really basic sense, it's that public education was it was like a bipartisan effort, basically, is my understanding. And the reason it was bipartisan is not because like any aspect of the political right cared so much about public education, although I'm sure some of them cared a little bit. It's because the industrialists were like, yeah, teach them math, sure, like, yeah, give me some workers with skill sets that I don't have to pay for. Everybody wins. And like back then, when everybody was just sort of uncritically capitalist, yes, everybody did win because, you know, you were producing workers. The government was producing workers that already had the skill sets that required for industrial work, like middle management kinds of labor, and that improved the economy. Everybody got richer. It's sort of like a proto neoliberal policy, public education. Let's do lumber mill. Feels like yeah, me too. Feels like a mental block where anytime I try to do pretty basic math, kind of complex multiplication or telling time on an analog clock. It's like the numbers just, yeah, it's like, yeah. It's like your head is just made of cheesecloth and the numbers are water. It's crazy. Like I would have, like I'm friends with a couple, like good friends with a couple of econ PhDs, and they would just like, they would sit there and like patiently walk me through a problem. And on step 3 they'd be like, okay, does that make sense? I'd be like, no. I have no idea what you just did. I was with you every individual step, but now that we're here at the culmination of what this means, you may as well have done nothing. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Oh yeah, homonyms. Yeah, I had that kind of dad for sure. Yeah, it's a good analogy. I'm trying to cup water in my hands. I can do it, but I have to really concentrate. Yeah. Truly dialectical material is proven right every day that passes. Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true. Now, if we can just get away from the Marxist-Leninist interpretation of what dialectical materialism is and this delusion that it's some kind of science we can program, then we'll really be on our way civilizationally. Ah, you're one of those people. Yeah, I forget the word for that too. You literally can't see pictures in your head. What must that be like? I think I have a very, very vivid mind's eye, I guess. I see it quite clearly in my head. Anytime I read a book, in fact, the unfilmable
is the mistake of it.
The unfilmable books video is kind of partly about that a little bit. That's my hook, basically. That like every time I read a book, I'm seeing the movie in my head. You know, complete with cuts and casting and acting style, directing style. Like I that's what I do. I can't guarantee that it's a good movie. You know, it's just like that's my intuitive way to visualize things, is filmically. I don't know. Let's see. What's our civics tree look like? Political philosophy. Yes, that's what I want. Let's do military training then. Yippee! Aphasia, yeah. The blackboard and the bottom line. Why schools can't be business. It does sound good. The blackboard and the bottom line. Okay. It's me and Mr. Morbid were having this conversation the other day that we were trying to come up with some kind of redeeming quality of Trump. He has none, of course, but he's sort of like a if I were to ascribe any sort of positive outcome for the presidency of Donald Trump, especially the second presidency of Donald Trump, it seems like he's sort of this like destroying angel. It's like Shiva has arrived to just like demonstrate every possible criticism, every possible worst criticism you could have about this country and the way it runs itself, you know. Like after whatever this era is, you know, things like racism and sexism and including capitalism and sort of like anti-environment types of all this just like performative vice signaling, you know, like all of the subjects of those vices will be radioactive for a couple generations. And Isn't that a good thing? isn't that a service that Donald Trump has done for us? And this conceit that any kind of public service should be run like a business is one of those. That's going to be one of the phrenologies of the early 21st century. I'm convinced. It's such a fucking stupid idea. Just like not only demonstrably stupid, but just like logically fucking dumb as shit. I cannot believe that I ever took anybody seriously as an interlocutor who would say that, you know? And I did, not because I agreed, but because it just like, I didn't grow up in a culture where that idea was, I don't know, just like as obviously wrong as it now obviously is. Like I grew up in a culture where I heard people say that all the time, and so you know that's why critical thought is important. Like investigate your own precepts or whatever. I don't know. Aphantasia, that's it. Prompt dude, hello. He's making bigotry cringe again. Exactly. I think that's exactly right. Keep saying Trump is the perfect American monster to end the American empire. Perfectly embodies and reflects almost every American vice right in our face. Yeah, exactly. He's stupid. He's fucking fat. He's ugly. He's unhealthy. He doesn't care about anybody. He's cruel. He's rich, but he's new rich. He's uncultured. He doesn't read. He just openly doesn't care about learning or or culture, beauty, or any kind of like virtue that even proponents of like Western civilization, however they define it, purport to care about. Just none of it. He's not religious. Like nothing. It's wild. It's wild. It's almost difficult to believe that he's an actual person. It's crazy. It's a country, not a company. Don't play it like Monopoly. I'm outside your house with a baseball bat. It's a good thing libraries aren't more important. Otherwise, they'd be a huge target of the right. I'm kind of surprised they aren't more of a target. In fact, I should shut the fuck up about that. It feels like I'm tempting fate. Lighthouse? Question mark? No. Maybe another settler. No. Maybe archers. Maybe just billions of archers. So we can deal with all these boats that keep attacking. I'm so annoyed I didn't get a city up here. Watch your fucking back, Mogadishu. This feels like home. I love it. Very good, prompt dude. I'm happy you're here. Ooh, solid point. Carlos, how I know disability is so clearly a social construct, because humans aren't even evolutionarily meant to do math and read. But if we can't read or do math, society will consider you a lesser being. Yeah. I don't think you can write either. Yeah. So funny that movies can't even do a stupid tyrant character without emulating Trump anymore. He's completely consumed the prototype. Yeah, well said. Consumed the prototype. No redeemable qualities at all. It's really, really amazing. It really is amazing. I just... What an ugly, stupid time in so many vectors. Libraries are kind of a target in the sense that moms of liberty are always on their asses. It's true, but you don't see a whole lot of like right-wing politicians really gunning for libraries. They will make noise. They'll like use them as an example. Somebody brought up, you know, book bans and whatever, but it's not as if like what is kind of stunning to me is that the right is not taking book bans a step farther. Like the logical next step would be, why do we even have libraries to begin with? You know, why are we giving federal dollars to these institutions that brainwash our kids in the same way that they're constantly gunning for the Department of Education, you know? Low-key admire an author who writes a banned book. Oh yeah. For certain. We're just gonna harvest this rice, I think. We don't need 2 rice plantations in Kyoto. But we do need more people. Libraries are epic sauce. It's true. How I even made it to 80 blows my mind. I know. Oh, I mean, he's like truly held together with duct tape and prayers at this point. He's actively falling apart. And like, you know, when you're in decent shape and you're 80, you can usually keep it together like pretty decently. It's like, so on the one hand, yeah, he's made it to 80, but like only just. What should we be doing here? Maybe yet another settler. No. No. A campus. Let's be reasonable. Holy shit, +5. Yeah. Let's remove the mine. Fuck it. No need more rice in Kyoto. Blasphemy. Maybe I will keep the rice. We'll see how I feel in about 20 seconds.
The 4 building blocks of the universe are fire, water.
Let's see. +1 food, +1 faith. Ah, rice gives you faith. Boo. Ooh, I'm about there. Kind of want to just harvest that rice. Does this belong to Kyoto or Tokyo? Y'all ever notice how Kyoto and Tokyo are just the same words rearranged? What do you think that's about? Do you think that's like you think that was conscious at all? They just got their like first and last syllables switched. That does belong to Tokyo. We could harvest these woods and yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's put a farm here and then let's buy that tile and harvest those woods. Big sorry, but I need to have this university done sooner than 218 turns. Yeah. Mathematics. Pious. Sure. Oh, it happened. Whoa! No more America. America's gone. That's crazy. Oh, you know what? You know what I bet happened? I bet that I did what I said I was not going to do, and I picked dramatic ages, and they lost Washington, D.C. Oops. Sister Original Child Section telling me the way most people understand what dyslexia and dyscalculia by extension is not necessarily neurological dysfunction. It's what you call it when a child is otherwise a skilled student. Just has a mental block around whatever subject. That makes sense. In that case, I definitely have dyscalculia. I was a great student otherwise. Oh, shit. That was an accident. Ah, well. That's fine. We can send them up there to... get these crabs for Gifu. This looks like they're struggling hardcore. Sort of early Homo sapiens Neanderthal remains, showing a handicapped person who's cared for throughout their life. It's peaceful to take care of each other so bad capitalism just isolates. This is what part of the reason like uncritically taking the sort of Jared Diamond or Harari route to learning about history will always lead you astray, because those guys are never interested in the things that I think are interesting anthropologically about human history, such as the fact that almost every ancient grave we have is of a disabled person. That should interest us, no? It was pretty standard in the ancient past when culture was developing as a thing humans do, to kind of deify the disabled, because they had no idea why, or people with you know, like epilepsy and shit. It arguably those like disabled people and disabled either neurologically or physically were a huge step in getting people to invent religions wholesale. Kind of interesting. Kyo is the same word, but the toes are different. Okay. Whatever you say. I will trust you. What are our adjacency bonuses looking like here? Not great. Let's do a lighthouse. Yeah, Subnautica kept crashing. Hi, Ethan. So I just kind of abandoned it for the stream. I'm playing it on my own still. Dolly? I don't know what that is. Kyoto means capital and Tokyo means east capital? Oh, that's interesting. Maybe. If you're right. That would make sense. Yeah, Spooky Tea, it's not like I'm any kind of psychologist, but I'm inclined to agree with your sister. I think that I present a lot more ADHD because my job is on the internet, spend a lot of time on the internet, than I would otherwise. None of this is just a matter of like brain chemistry or whatever. You can have all the same ingredients in your head and present behaviorally completely differently depending on what kind of societal expectations are made of you. Hello, Cece. I will never forgive her for making me raw dog my disability my whole childhood. It's rough. It's a rough position to be in. Wonder if there's any reason for why humans are so violent compared to other ape species. We're not particularly, actually. I mean, certainly not if you are comparing us. Like, chimpanzees are a lot more violent than we are. Baboons aren't apes, but gorillas are fairly peaceful, but like they really do, like, you know, min-max their aggression into those silverbacks. So like there's certainly violence certainly exists among gorilla society, even if it's mostly just performative or evolved that way. Chimpanzees are remarkably violent and a very quite cruel species. So there's certainly like a, I don't know, evolutionary precedent in the ape family. Yeah, have some horsies, John Curtin. Go crazy. Hi, gorilla. Hunting themselves as baby. Oh dear, I had a weed-induced psychotic break once, and as shitty as it was in the moment, looking back, I can absolutely see how people experiencing that or some other mental illness can interpret what they go through as being a sign from some divine being. The thing that makes humans human is meaning, and it occurs to me that there are a lot of mental health problems and psychotic episodes that essentially just come down to like your whatever meaning making mechanism exists in the human brain just going way into overdrive, you know. That's what schizophrenia is, that's what bipolar is, which is, you know, my my demon, I guess. That's what borderline is. That's what depression is. Depression's actually like kind of a lack of the meaning making, but within that lack, you then interpret that as meaningful, right? Yeah, not all mental illnesses, but I think certainly most really
Those
come
who in
down
quarrels interpose must often wipe
come down to either a failure or an exacerbation of whatever it is in our head that makes us think of things as meaningful. Let's do this one. Yeah. Silverbacks are like a warrior priest class for gorillas. That's so true. I love gorillas. Imagine being a schizophrenic in history and getting clout for being a seer and medium or something. Could have been sick, maybe. Yeah, see? It's like, it just depends on what kind of society you live in. There's the difference between your your disability or your mental illness or whatever being turned to something functional and indeed useful for society. Can we really call it an illness then? I don't know. Well, arguably. But it matters how we treat such things, not only medically but socially, whatever. You all know this. Doesn't understand why everyone else isn't scared of chimps, and he's absolutely right. Chimps are terrifying animals. They're so strong and they're so impulsive, and they have such mood swings. Like if an 8-year-old was jacked as shit, you know. Trader's sentence chosen player. Yeah, I'll vote for myself. Duplicates is chosen resource. Diamonds, please. Oop, bye-bye. I can't help you, gorilla. Good luck with your farm.
If I were again beginning my studies, I would follow the advice of Plato and start with mathematics.
History section of the OCD wiki article describe how medieval monks tried to help and hurt people with obsessive thoughts about sin. That's interesting. Yeah, it's the worst part of depression. It's so boring. Everything's boring. It sucks. CC, I will be a pedant and gently correct your statement. Unlike other animals, we have access to a complex of tools and knowledge that extends far beyond ourselves. Meaning is one of those tools? No. Meaning is the tool. Meaning is the tool from which all the other tools that you have in mind derive. We only do... the way I like to phrase this is that the meaning of life, the meaning of human existence is to hang out. Everything we do, every single thing we do, for the good of society, every future choice we make is either to protect or enhance our ability to hang out. All people want to do is hang out. And the reason people want to hang out is because it is in hanging out that we think and talk about what it all means, you know? And you can come to all sorts of conclusions about what it all means. And that's what culture is. But in order to do that, you gotta hang out, you know? I didn't see primate. I would like to. And yeah, to Ethan's point here, that is a different thing than self-awareness. So a lot of animals are self-aware, but this meaning thing, I mean, that's different, you know? I don't think that we really have disambiguated meaning and self-awareness in the way that they should. I think you can be self-aware without requiring meaning. That's actually kind of what Buddhism is, you know? Buddhism is like a rejection of meaning in in its most basic sense. It's like, no, none of this means anything. All the meanings that you're coming up with are constructs, and you suffer for them, and it's okay. It's what you do as a human. That's what humans do. They look for meaning, but you are best served by trying to trying to stop looking for meaning when when it's not necessary. Who's that voice actor reading all this stuff? Spooky Teeth, don't you recognize Sean Bean? Oh my god. I've never been so disappointed in you. I still think that what makes something a disability is when it's causing you harm or leading you to harm others outside of what society is saying or doing. But harm is subjective, no? We do all sorts of things that are immediately harmful for larger purposes. So it really just depends on your definition of harm and how that definition expands or contracts according to your particular subjectivity. No, there is no objective definition of what is harmful, and we can point to things like violence, maybe, but even violence is like, it was very easy to counter argue that, like, is defensive violence harmful? Maybe in one sense, but maybe not in another sense. Like, and you can be a hardliner on that. You can be a total pacifist, and that is at least a consistent worldview that I respect. But what is harm is not at all clear at all. That's societally defined. 100 men versus gorilla, yeah. Simpler time 2 years ago. It's always been a simpler time. The past is always simpler. It's all about hanging out. I got Europa Universalis 5. Now I'm watching tutorials on YouTube. Not sure I'm built for this. Gus, my podcast partner, recommended Europa Universalis 5 because I like Civ 6 so much. But I don't know if I have that kind of commitment. Look how much money I have. Oh my god. Hang out. That's what it's all about. I don't think lower primates can give themselves panic attacks because they thought too much about how big the universe is. That's the only real difference. Well, yes. Once again, the difference is meaning. You can't panic about how big the universe is if you don't, if you aren't conceptualizing yourself as, as sort of like a negligible blip and assigning meaning to that, it's one of the things that I am proudest of in my own personal development, that like the largeness of the universe and my own insignificance within it no longer really bothers me. That took about 30 years to accomplish, and I think I've basically done it. Pretty cool. But on the other hand, like it's like a pretty, on the other hand, it's like a pretty primitive accomplishment, because it's so basic. It's just accepting a fact of the universe. Biowolf, that's not nihilism, that's existentialism. Life inherently has no meaning is nihilism. Within that we create our own is existentialism. But let's fucking hang, yeah. Hang out. It's the meaning of life. Yeah, Spooky D's. I was genuinely getting so hung up on the fact that our current political and economic system hinges on all of us pretending that we don't need each other to survive, that we don't need food and basic care and shit in order to make anything in our world function on a really basic level. Yeah, that's the core nihilism of MAGA. And that's what differentiates them from sort of more traditional conservatism, which did have principle and did, they were conserving. That's the whole thing. They were supposed to be conserving principle and institutions, and that was the point of conservatism. And that's how you opposed it to liberalism, or the Democrats, whatever. And that's not the case anymore. They don't believe in anything. They don't believe that anything is necessary. It's so weird watching them go through this sort of like delusional delirium about what it's childish, genuinely, God, oh, it's so weird. And it can't last, so it'll all be okay. It's just a matter of what kind of harm is done in the meantime. And I know me saying it like that sounds kind of like dismissive or whatever, and that's not my intention, but it's just so important to not be a doomer about this shit, I wonder what animals dream of. Me too. Me too. Yeah, we want to take care of each other so fucking bad. We want to hang out, We want to hang out. That's all we want. Have Gus teach me, yes. Oh, yay, Josie. That sounds great. Post pictures. Elephants have something similar to funerals. Yeah. It seems orcas have culture, which means orcas have meaning. It seems like elephants also have culture, which means elephants also have meaning. At the very least, they're like in the process of evolving toward becoming a species that has meaning in a way that is corollary, if not the same, to what we do. And when I say not the same, I just mean like literally not the same. I'm not like assigning any kind of like value judgment to whether being the same as us necessarily makes them like as sophisticated or whatever. That's not at issue. It's just that what is meaningful for a killer whale or for an elephant might not make any sense to us. But in the same way that like the reason humans get, and this is a difference that we have between us and orcas and elephants, even though well, I'll finish my thought first. Oh shit, we're headed for a dark age. The reason humans get along with parrots so well is because we both have this like ultra developed linguistic feature, and elephants and orcas also have language, but not in the same way. Like parrots understand how humans talk. There's a lot of crossover between how parrots communicate and how humans communicate, and so we make friends with each other, and orcas and elephants certainly have language, but it's just not in the same way. Yeah. All violence is pointless ultimately.
Monet, if it does not bring you happiness, will at least help you be miserable in comfort.
Hi, kitty. Speaking of animal friends. Come hang out, it's the meaning to life.
Divide and rule, a sound motto.
Yay!
Unite and lead.
Alrighty. Let's just do a classical republic. Japan, the classical republic. Kitty. For the next 7 turns, we'll do this one. Hi, kitty. Deja vu. We'll do 30% production toward builders. Kitty. God damn it. Okay, there we go. What are we saying about nihilism? Oh, I was BioWolf said that they're a nihilist. Life is fundamentally meaningless, and so we create our own meaning. And I gently corrected them, just to say that that's existentialism. Actually, nihilists believe that there actually is no meaning, full stop, regardless, like including the meaning that we create ourselves. Is my understanding of nihilism. Boo, 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 boo. Yes, recorded history. Ouch. Ah! Jesus. She's clumsy, the kitty. There's no way I'm getting 3 era points, right? Woohoo! Exciting. What could I do? I could buy a great person, possibly. Yep. I could. Probably that's the way to go. Elephants are humans confirmed. I think elephants are people. Yeah. Yeah, elephants grieve. And interestingly, grief and funeral arrangements, I think that is the only true human universal that we found, cultural universal. Hi, Mike. You can find an exception for basically every human universal, behavioral universal that anthropologists have proposed, except for funerals. I wonder if that's actually true from, or if I'm misinformed about that. That is what I have read. But I also don't know every single human culture by heart, or, let alone every pre-existing culture, so. But as far as we know, that's my understanding. Elephants are epic sauce. Yes, Scott Cloudy. Yes, indeed. Ooh, Collateral. What a good movie. Ooh, that's such a good movie. What a good movie to see in theaters, too. God, we used to make shit different in this country. So good. Yes, infrasound language, yeah. So do orcas. Medieval people were right to put animals on trial. Kind of. They horseshoed. Oh my god! Cece, I'm so glad you asked, because it would have been really disturbing otherwise, although I'm sure you would have attached it to, some kind of explanation for what you were doing. But yeah, I'll take that. Are you gonna are you gonna fan art my Final Destination death in the rainy garage? Is the rain gonna electrocute me? Takimoho left to move to Nepal. Very good. Whales as a group as a whole use a very sophisticated language, but how similar and how different that language is in its function. Yeah. Does it use symbolism? Do they do abstraction? Can they draw an analogy? Yeah, all of it's speculative, and what we do know, because like one of the things about this is that our assumption as humans is that all of these animals, especially animals that we consider like us in some way, must necessarily be that's why I was like kind of qualifying my statement earlier, trying to find the right words for it, because like our assumption is that they must naturally be like kind of lesser and like just sort of less sophisticated than anything we do linguistically. But like the indication so far is that orcas have an entire lobe of their brain that we don't have, that appears to allow them to function as kind of a hive mind. Like they can think collectively. That's fucking bonkers. Like we don't have anything that even comes close to that, you know? That's crazy. So, yeah. Do you think that, yeah, I mean, this is I would call this a question wrongly asked, homonyms, and for the reasons I just said. Do you think that far into the future, other mammals will evolve the same level of intelligence as humans? I think it'd be maybe a step too far to say, but it's like, do you judge a fish on how well it rides a bicycle kind of thing, you know? Why is human intelligence the standard that other animals should be expected to emulate, you know? It's not clear at all to me that there aren't animals that meet or exceed our level of intelligence. It just depends on what kind of intelligence we're talking about. Yeah, no, other animals can read, but reading is a technology. It's not a ability. You know what I mean? Nothing we do matters. All that matters is what we do. Yes. Exactly. Parallel crow society. I want to make friends with... we don't have any crows in our area, and that makes me upset, because I was so excited to make friends with my local crows, because if you make friends with your local crows and you have livestock, the crows will keep away the hawks for you. You can like form an alliance with your local crows, because crows and hawks are like mortal enemies. Oh, yay. Thanks, Firewolf. I'm glad you found us. Okay, let's buy this Admiral. +3 air score! Fuck yeah! We did it! Orcas are the Borg. Legacy of Cain. I don't think so. Sounds familiar maybe, but it's also like a, you know, relatively generic name, so I don't know. Yes, corvids are awesome. Yeah, humans have very much filled our niche, so other animals will evolve to fill their own niches. Exactly. So it's like, and this is also like a semi-Buddhist, but quite animist assumption that like maybe we should adjust our expectations, so that instead of wondering why animals aren't more like us, why are we not wondering why we're not more like animals, and what we could, you know, how we could adjust our behavior to more closely reflect what they do, since they seem to, a lot of animals seem to pretty much have it figured out. Not all of them, but many, you know. Yes, you can teach. Yeah, crows will bring you presents for sure. That is a thing they will do. Oops. I clicked outside the window. What do you not understand about this game, Spooky Teeth? Era points. We're in a golden age because we acquired an admiral who will just kick it in this bay pretty much forever if I've got my way. Human nation's making ourselves everyone's problem ever. If an orca can't play Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2 is really intelligent. That's a good point. An orca can't call me the F slur and a squeaker. Are they really sentient? I guarantee you if an orca could, they would call you a slur. Orcas are so cruel. Yeah, exactly, Sweetie. It's awfully bold of you to assume they aren't already doing that. Animals do fucked up stuff by human standards. It's because they don't have meaning. The entire reason, the entire reason you can say that it's by human standards is because humans have standards. Humans have meaning, and with that meaning, we make standards. And also it depends on which humans you're talking about, because not all humans have the same standards, and there are many cultures that will do things that are to, you know, are like specifically kind of modern, whatever, broadly Western, Enlightenment influenced standards would be unbelievably cruel and unacceptable and morally reprehensible, but just means something different to them. You know, this is why it's so difficult to find any kind of cultural universal. Yay, the caramel is done. Proud of you. Okay. I will look up this thing, Mike. Like the idea of the greatest VA cast delivering the most overwrought dialogue in all of video games plus vampires. Okay. I do like vampires. And overwrought dialogue. That frequency only orcas can communicate on. And I'm telling them your specific nautical coordinates. This shit ain't nothing to me. Orcas would double cross you, I think. Everybody. Orcas would double cross anybody and everybody. This is another thing that his Dark Materials does, like, has such an interesting treatment about. In his Dark Materials, bears are sentient in the same way, in a similar way that humans are, and have their own parallel societies. Polar bears, at least. I don't know about all bears. What now? I guess a farm. Maybe Kyoto needs farms more. I don't know. How does Kyoto have more people than Tokyo? That seems crazy. I need to... Somebody commissioned me to write an article about Andor several months ago, and I have yet to do it. This is the kind of thing that I have been finding quite a bit of meaning in myself, namely that my failure to accomplish all the tasks that I have committed to means something quite dark and dispiriting for me. It means my ultimate failure as a human being, right? That surely must be the case, because I haven't written about Andor yet, even though I said I would. I've got too much shit to do. I'm gonna run to the bathroom and come back. Boo boo. Andor is really, really good. Done. LOK games aren't notable for their mechanics, but their theatrics are unmatched. Oh, I do like theatricism. Oh, yeah, I'll do a TCM video at some point, for sure. For sure, for sure. Don't you even worry about it. If we're lucky, I'll even get it done before I leave Texas. If I end up ever leaving Texas. All very up in the air. Oops. Let's get a road going to Kyoto. Yeah. That is crazy. Good night, Spooky Teeths. Yeah, imagine living in Texas. Really, the only thing I don't like about the specific place in Texas that I'm living right now is that it's fucking windy. Windy all the time. So windy. Really hard to grow anything with how windy it is. This motherfucker. I think this is just a bug. Just a bugged builder. Bug the builder. Windy. It fucking windy. Basically all of Texas. It is, Texas in general is very windy. And I'm from Oklahoma, you know, I understand flat and I understand windy, but we specifically are, not only are we like in the middle of the plains, we're like on the very edge of hill country. If we did live in hill country, it'd be less windy, but we're not. We're on the edge of, we're still in the plains, and not only are we on the plains, but we're on like a very short hill. As hilly as it gets out here, and it's not very hilly, it's quite flat, but we are on top of a hill, which it helps when hi kitty, when it floods, but oh my god, it fucking windy. I don't know what to do with it. Why did I make a builder? Let's just, oh whoop, I didn't mean to do that. Sure, yeah, build a mine. I don't fucking care. Encampment? We're good on amenities, looks like. Oh, not Kyoto, though. Oh, I'll be fine for now. Let's focus on Tokyo. Let's do we can do granary. That's fine. We can always use a granary. Yes, lots of cowboy hats here. It's a true stereotype. Mr. Morbid has a cowboy hat. I have a cowboy hat. You gotta get yourself a good pair of boots if you're anywhere in the West or the Southwest. I've got mine. Mr. Morbid has his. And if you get yourself, if y'all get yourself a good pair of boots, that's gonna last you. That's gonna last you about 40 years. So you gotta pick your boots well. I've had my boots since college. Not to brag or anything, with the weather in LA is very nice, right? That's really fucking great for you,
One
Emily
man's
Phillips.
magic
9090.
is another man's engineering.
LA spoiled me so hard. I get mad at the weather regularly now. I didn't used to. I was always a little bit of like a weenie about the weather, but even in Oklahoma, but now that I know what I can have, fuck this. Mom, come pick me up. It's windy. Texas is in the south, yeah. It is a because it's so big, the kind of south that it is really strange. Oklahoma kind of has a similar problem. Like, sometimes you'll see people categorize Oklahoma as southwest, and it absolutely isn't. And not culturally, at least. Sometimes people will say it's Midwestern, which is more believable, but it's culturally, it's quite southern. I mean, it borders Arkansas, you know, like, yeah. But like East Texas is very deep south. East Texas is like, Texas borders Louisiana on one side and New Mexico on the other, and you don't get a whole lot more southwest and deep south than those two states, you know. So there's quite a lot of cultural exchange and cultural mishmashing between the two, and that's what Texas culture is, which is pretty rad, I think. It's just that the politics here are so absolutely buck wild and don't make any fucking sense, and are just like authoritarian and stupid and don't want to accept the cool things about Texas culture and just want to kind of crush them under a jackboot. So it's kind of a hard place to live. Yeah. Plant some windbreaks. Oop, hi kitty. Yeah, I'm doing my best. I'm trying to be inventive with my garden to protect the baby plants. Work in progress. Homonym, it depends entirely on what you mean by they. Scarpa's boots have lasted me over 10 years. I want a new pair. That's a good pair of boots. Gorilla, I thought you were in Mexico. What the fuck? Speaking of Mexico, where's Hampton? Ethan, if you are in Arizona, you can choose between either a cowboy hat or a Diamondbacks cap. This depends entirely on whether you are a rural Arizonan or identify more with a rural Arizona or urban Arizona. If you're urban Arizona, your assigned headgear is a Diamondbacks cap. Yeah. So don't worry, Ethan. You're in good shape. Let's see here. Yeah, let's build a great lighthouse. Fuck it. Oh my god, my mouse is lagging. I'm sorry, your senator is still your senator. Oh man, pray for James Talarico. Holy shit, I think he can do it. I think he can beat Ken Paxton, because Ken Paxton is like genuinely the devil incarnate. He's a bad person. He's evil, and doesn't even really seem to care to hide it that much. He's been fucking charged with crimes. He's been impeached. Like, they tried to remove him from office for committing crimes. He just got a divorce from his wife for infidelity, which he appears to have hired some like great PR team to manage, because it doesn't seem like any story has broken out about that. Ken Paxton is fucking evil. And Talarico looks like such a proper, nice, sweet, caring little schoolboy next to him. So I'm hoping he can pull it off. But if not, You're gonna see me like pretty mad in November. It also appears that Ken Paxton, you know, did a voter fraud a couple days ago and suppressed the vote in what, Williamson County, and also, I don't know, whatever county Dallas is in, to suppress the vote for Jasmine Crockett. So hooray. Cool things about Texas culture. Barbecue, shit. A lot of food, a lot of good Texas food. Good Texas food. The culture in Austin used to be fun and cool. Like there used to be a pretty healthy counterculture in Austin. There still kind of is, but Austin just over the past 30 years or so has gotten so gentrified, which is another reason it's like kind of a bummer to live here right now, because I remember Austin before the tech industry came in and just like, you know, added Teslas and Cybertrucks everywhere. And I remember when it was cheap, and it's not anymore. People keep talking about Texas like it's cheap. It isn't. I don't know. That good music culture is still good. Yeah, that's it. I don't love Texas. I don't know. Give me a scientist. Yeah, Ethan, I can tell by your hat. Signed Diamondbacks Capit stream. Yes. ADBCAS. It's the new addition to the pride flag.
I've lived through some terrible things in my life.
Let's do biology. Let's catch up our civics here. Governor title. Promote. Grants a vampire unit. As vampires, you can start Vampire Castle. Yay. Yep, Tech Bro Haven now. Hi, Michael. Oh, thanks for saying hi. Hi, Fractal Dactyl. Why does everybody owe you $11? I'll accept it. I accept the premise that I and everybody else here owes you $11, but I shall need to know why. Sure, build a vampire castle there. Fuck it. Oh, say more, Mike. Do you mean affective or effective? And in what way? I'm very curious. Very curious to know. I mean, so far the campaign in Iran seems to be going well. Militarily, you know. Although if these rumors about us running out of munitions is true, then... Uh-oh. Last I saw, right before I hopped on stream, was a report that, like, oh shit, fellas, this might actually be another forever war. Ooh. Ooh. Yikes. That analysts are looking at this situation and saying we're not going to be out of there before September, but that depends entirely on whether the administration is actually interested in this as a military campaign or mostly just as a content mill. And I think we all know which one of those is more likely. So, hard to say. Yeah, granary. We need more housing. Thought they'd want to run against Jasmine Crockett because she'd be easier to mobilize the base against, and her weird attitude toward the Latino vote. Or did he just suppress the black vote out of habit? It kind of seems like the latter to me. I don't know. But they like gave everybody conflicting information. Didn't tell anybody that it's no longer the case in those counties that you can just vote at any polling place. They just assigned people polling places out of nowhere without telling anybody. And now that's being challenged in court. So I guess it's good that they're doing that. But like, yeah, no, it was clear voter suppression. Yes. Oh yes, Piggy Ziggy Zap. I do know of the data center issues, and man, Phoenix fucking sucks. Well, that city should just burn to the ground, and it will eventually. So, yeah, they keep using all the water. Yep, also more Central and South American fuckery. More its content mill. It's again like, oh yeah, that's another.
It is the mark of an educated mind.
It's another American stereotype that Trump embodies, right? Another bad American stereotype, we should say, that Trump embodies. The influencer. Influencers are bad, as it turns out. Who could have guessed? Yeah, still military tactics. We might be able to build way to Teocalli if we get over here. That'd be useful. That'd be very useful. Talking about, oh god, yeah. Yep, I saw that. That Marine who, was it a town hall that he went to protest the Iran war, and a sitting fucking Montana state senator broke his fucking arm and then bragged about it online. American conservatives are just straight up evil, just evil nihilists. I feel no compunction about saying that at all. It seems like that's what they want to be called, you know. There's no other way to describe what, you know, their behavior, because I actually live in reality where there are consequences. I'm a functional adult, you know. It's fucking insane. Senate subcommittee meeting? Is that what it was? I don't know. It's while the influencer coded Trump is giving his old ass manedness. Yeah, for real. Nothing better can be expected from Montana. Yeah, maybe that's true. I'd move to Montana. That is one state that I am actively looking for jobs in. In fact, I looked again yesterday at Complexly to see if they were hiring, and they're not. The position that they had open has been filled, but by the time I'm actually looking for jobs, maybe they will have one open. That'd be nice. I'd move to Missoula. Absolutely, I'd move to Missoula. Wise philosopher once described them as assholes. True. Very true. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that shit too. I don't know any of their names because not from Montana, but yeah, one of their senators announced their retirement tactically so that a successor could, yep. Ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. This country's such a fucking joke. Very good, gorilla. Give yourself a nice pat on the back. I love my fish. He's so cute. Just keeping up my fish compliment quota. Garbage chasing states. I didn't choose to move to Texas. I am playing as Japan, yeah. Yeah, I watched that video without knowing what it was, and I was like, oh shit, I saw a dude's arm break. Whoops. Whoopsie, didn't mean to do that. At least Montana has Obamacare. Texas didn't even have that. You can sign up for Obamacare here. That's what a national policy is. Yeah, exactly. This is the whole nihilism thing. The right likes to be depicted like psychos because it makes them look fucking counterculture and dangerous. Yeah. But it's a dog chasing cars kind of thing. It's like, okay, well, you're in power now, so do the thing, you know? And I think we've talked about this in previous streams before, that like I think it's super interesting that the only thing that that the right can do that is like big change, woo, here's the revolution, is
because he takes seriously.
Is coming up with these like really ill-conceived UBI policies. You know, like, oh, well 5,000 check for tariffs, which obviously never happened and never will. We're going to give you money directly to buy health insurance. We're going to do the Trump, you know, child accounts or whatever. Like, this is just UBI, just implemented really poorly and not planned at all. Which I think is a positive portent for the future, actually. Like, there's only one direction to take all this shit, you know? In the same way, in almost exactly the same way. It's the same kind of dynamic as, like, renewable energy is just gonna happen. Fucking deal with it, you know? Stop! Just fucking deal with the fact that technology is progressing, and we're not just gonna burn oil forever. What a fucking stupid idea, you know? Like, and that'll happen within my lifetime, I'm certain of it. That we actually will replace fossil fuels with renewable energy within my lifetime, for certain. Which is nice, yeah. No matter how racist Texans get, they'll always hate Okies more. They're all 12 years old, yep. Yep. Mike, MA is Montana, right? And you live in Vermont? I would live in Vermont. I like Vermont a lot. I'd live in New Hampshire. See, the thing is that, like, what's happening is I'm trying to pick states that have fairly lax gun laws so that Mr. Morbid can, you know, pursue his interests. That's why I'm gravitating toward places like Montana, or what I was about to say next, which is New Hampshire, which is like the only, you know, New England state that is crazy like that. I will never move to Florida, though. No, absolutely not. It's a bad idea. Have you considered that oil will destroy the world? And as a conservative, my ideology is just destroy the world. That's, yeah. That's a compelling argument. Yeah, exactly. It's funny because they call UBI socialist, but their UBI is fucking useless because they cut services to make everything work. Yeah, it's, yeah. Conservatives don't have policies or beliefs. Nothing, just content. Oh, Massachusetts, I forgot. New Hampshire is the Florida of New England. Yeah. But it's a pretty quick drive to more civilized places, so I
This lighthouse
wouldn't be upset to live
was the
there.
cynosure of all eyes.
Woohoo! I'd be willing... No, never mind. I would be willing to appreciate Florida if it wasn't for climate change. I was gonna say I'd be willing to live there, but that's not true. My hair would go insane. My hair is not meant for Florida weather. But it is... Well, the Everglades are very, very beautiful. Florida should be a very beautiful state. Mr. Ward is gun goblin of some sort. Yeah, he worked for the company that made the John Wick guns. But he's a gunsmith by trade. But he does seem to be a little just like sort of more and more what's the word I'm looking for? Not demoralized, disenchanted with the industry, not because not for anything like moral about it, but just because it's fucking full of assholes, that industry, you know, predictably. It's really difficult to find people in that industry who because basically, see, here's the problem with the gun industry, and I think this is basically its moral problem too, and I want to get into this with the Predator video, that the gun industry in this country is primarily a fashion industry, and that's a huge fucking problem if we're trying to build a society that actually takes guns seriously as, you know, as a weapon. And so in the gun industry, it's just all these like fucking operator assholes who like do not care about anybody but themselves, and are like greedy, and because they're greedy they're stupid, and like it's not good. It's not a good situation. And that really sucks. Doesn't have to be that way. And liberals on the other side, anybody on the left or on the center left, I should say, in America, because so many gun people are so fucking bonkers, themselves don't have a whole lot of incentive to interrogate their own silly conceptualizations of what guns are or what they mean or should mean. It's all a disaster. Oh yeah, I'm perfectly willing to accept that New Hampshire still sucks ass. make no mistake, my willingness to move to a place like New Hampshire is not because I have any love for the state of New Hampshire. For New Hampshire, I would move to. I'd also move to Maine. New Hampshire, I would move to just because it's close to other places. You know? Yeah, New England's tiny. You can drive from, you know, horrible New Hampshire to very civilized and pleasant Vermont within like 20 minutes. So, from anywhere in the state. So, yeah. Why do you think conservatives want for the principled establishment old dudes that Democrats still imagine to maudlin nihilists? Personally, I think those noble demon types never really existed. Well, yeah, to a certain extent, they never really existed because so many of them came from the Confederate South and made it their personal project to continue the lost cause. But there were certainly, at some point, principled conservatives who, you know, disagreed about what metaphysical meaning the Constitution should have and how much we should change it and how fast. That's it. And that kind of conservative just really doesn't exist anymore. They were wiped out by neoliberalism and deregulation and financialization in the 80s. Once again, it's all Reagan's fault. Let's do... what about commercial hub? How are we looking at... oh. Yeah. I'll take that adjacency bonus. Do we have a... Is there a university in this city yet? Oh, library. Yeah, I'll see that. Vermont is an extremely easy place to own guns and grow weed in. What kinds of guns, though? That's always the issue, because like we could move to New Mexico. You know, my parents live there. That'd be a good place to live. But a lot of hunting in New Mexico. But Mr. Morbid is into the tactical shit. Unfortunately, he's not a hunter. You know. So, yeah. I love Arizona. Tucson was possibly my favorite place I've ever lived, including Oklahoma. It's no matter where you're from, I feel like it's pretty difficult to outpace your hometown, you know. I love Tucson. I would move back in a heartbeat. There are a lot of places in Arizona I'd be perfectly willing to live. If I could find a job at like a faculty position at NAU, that'd be great. And live in Flagstaff. Flagstaff's gorgeous. I love Arizona. Yes, Terran Tactical. Mm-hmm. Oh dear. How do you think we could better structure the local and federal government relationship? It seems like local government is mostly just an extra layer that doesn't add anything. I don't know if I'm qualified to answer that question. Broadly, I'm kind of like I kind of do a leftist horseshoe with states' rights. We talked about this a little bit in a previous stream, I know. I only say that because I hate repeating myself and acting like it's a brand new thought or whatever. But like, I think, like right now, the definition of neoliberalism, the way that neoliberalism arranges society is that the government's job is to establish good business conditions. And that's it. And then in every other case, the government steps out and it's none of their business or whatever. And I think that's a really stupid thing to, it's a really stupid way to conceptualize the purpose of government. The purpose of the government should be to ensure human dignity. And other than that, step the fuck out. Other than that, everything should be left up to the states. That's what I think. So, however you want to, you know, arrange local politics within, I it was some ideas about how we could do that with media, but other than that, like I'm not that kind of, certainly not that kind of political scientist. Oh yay, Virtue Amaze. I don't know. Thank you. I'm always tickled when people tell me they like the Pirates video. That one was super fun to make.
Strategy requires thought. Tactic.
Better world is indeed possible, and more people are realizing that, I feel. Yeah, I completely agree. I don't think that there's any situation in which people are just turned into sheep, you know? It's not, no. That's partially what the theme of Lord of the Rings is. That's why good always wins, you know? Neat to see there are still old school gun makers around. Yeah. Excreted from a factory. Yeah. Which is how the culture moves to obfuscate creatives. Yeah. I mean, I think that weaponry is super fascinating, you know? That's a super interesting craft. And the way that it intersects with martial arts, which is also a super interesting craft, is something that I think Americans are like way over squeamish about. And that's most of what I want that Predator video to be about. Like, how do we conceptualize violence in this country after several generations of a military structure whose main job has been to convince the civilian population that violence isn't actually real, it doesn't actually exist, you know?
Superior to opulence.
That is what the military is for in this country, and that's not good. I think that's really, really unhealthy. Let's add a governor to... okay, let's do this. There we go. Mosquitoes. Okay. Hi, William. Yeah, it's a good chat tonight. Every place that has a lot of guns has guns become a fashion symbol. Yeah, but in some places, and I don't think this is necessarily on purpose because so much of global culture is fairly hegemonic, but guns are still like weaponry of all kind can take on metaphysical meaning beyond just fashion, and does frequently. That's why the AK-47 is like appears on so many national flags. But here, and this is the problem that I guess I'm kind of trying to point out, is that like here, guns are just something you can go out and buy, you know, and there's no kind of social enforcement on who should be able to have a gun and who shouldn't. And I don't think that in America we conceptualize enforcement of that kind as being pretty much purely legal, and I don't think that need be the case, you know. There are plenty of societies in which, like, you know, in feudal Japan, if you're not a samurai, I better not see you with a fucking katana. You know what I mean? That was legally enforced, but that was also very much socially enforced. So I don't know. Like, there are all sorts of ways that you can conceptualize matters of social enforcement, and I think boiling them down to whether to just like, well, either we have a legal structure around it or it's just a free-for-all is stupid. Oh yeah. Let's go over here. Campus? Oh my god. I just realized that we don't have theater squares yet. That seems crazy. That's bonkers. But look at that. Look at those adjacency bonuses. Yes, please. My boss has been ranting lately about how he needs 7 guns. Awesome. I have Nixon Land. Yeah, I need to read it. I have heard good things. He's single, probably always will be, because peaked in high school. Does not have kids. Who are these guns for? Yeah, Flagstaff's nice. Move there. I know you get snow. We used to... Uh-oh. In college, we used to go up to Flag in like, you know, January, February. And it was so much fun. It was such a novelty to have snow. Where did my... What just happened here? What just happened? What? Oh. I think I understand. I think they got intercepted on the way to the lake. Let's go rescue them. Remember when he had a Bill of Rights? Yeah. And yes, the local government does do a shitload. Jorge is completely right. Basically no rules with no criminal record. Okay. Shit. Maybe we'll go to Vermont. It's cold there. It'll feel so strange and wrong as a southwesterner moving with another southwesterner, really a Southern Californian, which is its own thing. Yeah, I don't see my settlers, so they must have been intercepted, but I don't see where could they be? Where did they go? Which barbarians took them? I don't understand what has happened. What has happened? They've got to be around here, right? Yes, CC, I agree. And yes, Gyarados is united. There is no one cure? Correct. Absolutely. What the fuck? Man, I should have clicked on the notification when it popped up. I don't know where could they possibly have gone? This is so baffling. I love tanks but hate war. That makes sense for you, Gun Parade. Makes sense for a person named Gun Parade. Oh, hell yeah. The fuck? Are they up here, maybe? What the fuck happened? Oh my god. Yes, as a hegemonic culture, we get to observe violence as something that happens over there and would never occur here in the civilized world. The thing that pisses me off most about how Democrats talk about guns is anytime they say something about how, like, you know, weapons that I used in war should never be on American streets. Come on. Come the fuck on. Listen to yourself. So they belong over there, then? That's where guns like those belong? Just naturally, there's naturally occurring there. It's their endemic environment, I guess. I didn't, Mike. I will go take a look at that. I'm behind on Discord. I'm behind on fucking everything. Can you expand upon the military's purpose being to make us believe violence doesn't exist? The difference between... One of the main differences between how I am defining, oh fuck, god damn it, a warrior culture versus a military culture is this, that like, so the way we structure our military, right, is that like we have conscripts, and this is very old. This is a thing that military cultures have always done, where we just get like peasants, basically, who's like conscript a bunch of guys, sort of like, who just don't really have anything else to do, and to go fight our wars for us. And that is different from a warrior culture, wherein people who fight wars come back from war, and I finish my other thought. So in that situation, in that kind of military culture where we just send guys over to go fight our wars, they come back and they get benefits maybe, but they are expected to, you know, reintegrate into civilian life, and that is different from what I'm calling a warrior culture, where warriors, by contrast, they go fight wars or not. You know, they go like sumo wrestlers function as warriors for different reasons, because the battle that they're fighting is metaphysical. Sumo is a super interesting sport, but they have warrior status for that reason. They're kind of like they're like a spiritual defense of the country of Japan. It's so fascinating. But warriors come back from whatever kind of martial achievement they do, and their status is integrated into society itself. When you're a warrior, you come home and your warrior status becomes a social status, and you are then like, you know, you are then incorporated into the decision-making process of your culture. And I'm not saying that's necessarily better, but what I am saying is that in a warrior culture, warriors don't lose their status, don't lose their social position just because there's not a war happening, you know. And the reason that military cultures do that is because it's for a lot of reasons, but one of them is because, you know, just what I said there, that part of the point of a military is to protect the homeland. And that can be extrapolated into all sorts of things in the case of a nation state, which is trying to act as its own sovereign entity, even though it's just this like this like this kind of made up construct. There is no such thing as the United States of America. The only reason the United States of America exists is because it can kill you, you know, with its military. And so either you are inside the United States of America and protected by its military, and get to receive all the benefits of that position of safety, or you're outside the United States of America and you better do what the United States of America says, otherwise they can kill you. And so to maintain that dynamic without your citizenry, you know, obviously exploding, is that you need to make it very clear and maintain this perception of the military being a protective, defensive force of the citizenry. The citizenry is has, like, you know, progressed past the sort of like base needs of violence, because that's what the military is for. That's what they do. You don't have to worry about violence anymore because the military is there to worry about it for you. That's what I'm saying. I'm way behind on the chat here, and I gotta go, but I do still have some wine left. So, do you, Mr. Morbid, share any frustration that martial arts and weapons have been co-opted by anti-woke weirdos? Oh yeah, all the time. Absolutely. Every empire does this to some extent. Rome did this. Yes, correct. Most definitely. The guy who got Japan's PM needed to have an engineering degree to make the gun he used. Yep. Problem with America is that we have a teenager's idea of what freedom is. Yes. In America, we conceptualize freedom as a negative quality, freedom from, instead of freedom to, which is a very basic thing to say. It's like, it's almost aphoristic, but, whatever. I'm in friendly company. I don't need to explain myself to you people. Legal structures shape. Ooh, I think I disagree with this. Interesting. Legal structures shape society. America's gun culture emanates from very lax gun laws. I don't think gun laws emanate from the gun culture. I cannot imagine how you could possibly prove that that's the case. Legal structures shape society? No, legal structures are also cultural structures. The way you conceptualize and enforce your law is a part of your culture. It's not separate. It's not like, you know, it's not an individualized entity outside culture. Legal structures are cultural. And that troubles your construction here, I think. Homonyms 13. Yeah. Gun-toting Hegseth warrior codified caste in America sounds fucking... Yeah, that would be a fucking nightmare. Well, I mean, we have it. It's ICE, basically. I think that the enforced distance from violence is like one of the most satanic forces at work in our cultural political landscape. Yeah. Yeah. It's not good. I kind of think, and this is such a hot take, I'm totally willing to be like, you know, encouraged away from this position, but I kind of think that drone warfare should be illegal, you know? Obviously AI warfare should be, and any kind of like remote warfare I think should be illegal, you know? Like if you're not willing to put up your guys in order to pursue whatever military conflict you're pursuing, then it clearly isn't that important to you. War is bad. I don't think we should do war at all, but I think that would be a better deterrent. Correct, yeah. Not that we should all experience violence, most certainly, but that the shape of empire allows us to empathize less or not at all with violence that others have to live with at every moment. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah, Vermont has good schools. It's true. It's true. Yeah, no, Arizona is a very good state. Good with heavy air quotes there for for gun permits. They're almost as permissive as Texas, if not as permissive. 6 Roanoke, where'd my settlers go? Yeah, for real, I still haven't found them. I don't think I will. It's just missing settlers forever and ever. Yeah, exactly. Their barbarous religious rituals versus our valiant prayer breakfast. Yes. Mm-hmm. Violence on foreign places is explicitly okay. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A sumo channel here on Twitch. Oh shit. Yeah, I like sumo. Would you consider gunslingers or cowboys in America to function basically as a warrior culture? Good question. Really good question. The answer is no. Not because the myth of it doesn't accurately slot into a you know, sort of warrior culture metaphysics, but because gunslingers and cowboys just weren't really real. If they were, I'd say yes, but they're not. They're a myth. And there is no actual structure within American culture that is like cowboys are not a codified class. Like even in Mexico, the corollary is charros, and charros are kind of charros are sort of I'd show you a photo, but like you know what I'm talking. If I describe to you like that, okay. So so mariachis, the way they dress, that's charro dress, and charros are like a sort of proto cowboy. A lot of charro culture informed the way that cowboys act and dress. It's derived from a lot of from this like very Spanish influence, which itself has this sort of like medievalist chivalrous type of influence. And so charros are to this day part of the Mexican military, you know, and they're expected to be excellent horsemen and excellent marksmen and to behave with with like honor and dignity, and it's a Mexican knighthood essentially. And if that existed, actually existed in a codified way where there are like behavioral standards and you know, and credentials that you could get to be a cowboy in the United States, yes, I would consider it a warrior culture, but it's a myth, so no. Yeah. Very happy for you, Frederick, that you didn't get conscripted. That fucking sucks. Yeah, exactly. Cowboys are like a prelapsarian heroic caste. Uh-huh. The so-called United States. Do you think there's any way to maintain any sort of organized society without the threat of force? No, broadly no. The implication of force always has to be present. I don't think there's any sustaining a society where there's not some even latent implication that like if whoever's in charge of this situation doesn't behave the way that we expect them to in the way that they say they are, then we're gonna fucking kill you. Like that is ultimately what is, you know, the structure behind every society. And that doesn't mean that like everybody needs to be violent, or everybody needs to be familiar with violence, or everybody needs to you know, constantly be threatening each other with violence. It's just that I mean, well, this is what makes me an anarchist, right? That like no, I don't believe that any political structure is natural. And that any hierarchy is natural. Hierarchy hierarchy can exist, but only at the consent of the people at the bottom. And if the people at the top, you know, go against their word to the people at the bottom, they can be overthrown. And this is why it pisses me off so much when people say, well, you have to respect the office of the presidency. This is your president. Go fuck yourself. I don't respect offices, you know. I'm an American. I respect people. The office of the presidency isn't fucking real. We made it up in order to do better thing, to make life better for my people, for the American people. That's the point of the presidency. The presidency is not a metaphysically true thing, you know. Sci-fi writing project I was developing in my 20s revolved around the idea of using drones for war as a war crime. Yeah, I'm glad that Ukraine has them, you know. They're becoming quite good at it. But I don't think that's like outside conception that that drones should be considered a war crime in a future Geneva Conventions, maybe. How would you close this perceived distance to violence, in your opinion? I don't know, man. The easiest way to do it is to make I forgot the particular policy term, but mandatory military service. But obviously I don't think that we should do that because our military fucking sucks, you know. But I think that like I don't know, if we could construct a national martial art that everybody had to be familiar with, then that would be maybe a step in the right direction. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know if I mean, yeah, it's just outside my pay grade. Thank you, Mike. I'll always accept a fun arachnid. But also, like, I don't know, part of the reason it's so hard is because that distance to violence is enforced, you know, it's on purpose. And so kind of the only way that you're able to do that now is to just like read about a bunch of atrocities, which has been my approach. And I don't think that's good for your brain. Just personally and from personal experience, you know. I don't know. I don't know. Because you don't want to like traumatize people, of course. But I also don't believe in avoiding trauma just for the virtue of pretending violence isn't real and something that other people have to deal with. I think that's just part of growing up. Just grow the fuck up, you know? Like, I think that you should be aware of everything everybody else has to go through in the world, and has had to go through, and that understanding certainly should be socially enforced. That basically what I'm saying is that empathy should be socially enforced. I don't know how you do that, but yeah. Oh, I just realized that Mike's Fun Arachnid is named Ungoliant. That's sick as hell. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cece. This is an acceptable concept of the presidency. Whole point of having a president is so poor people can call the chief executive an asshole to their face, not get hung for it. Yep. We should combat ignorance by exposing people to the truth. Yes, but I think that shock art, theater of cruelty, and that kind of thing is like, we should combat ignorance by exposing people to the truth, and that may be the best way to approach it now. But I think in a sort of like, in an actually functional society, I think that it has to be a lot gentler than that, and that there is a way to like kind of like the way that we were teaching the Holocaust for a long time. I think we still are, I don't know, in high schools and middle schools, is like the kind of thing that like this has to be an ever present. You don't ever get to forget about the Holocaust, you know. And now we're seeing what happens when people are allowed to forget about the Holocaust. But like that learning about the Holocaust is a very, you know, sober experience. I don't think it's good to be, I don't think it's good to be aggressive with people about the reality of violence in the same way that like if I ever have a child, when I teach my child about the concept of death and that they're going to die someday, I'm not going to, you know, treat them like an idiot for not knowing or whatever. Like that's going to be like, yeah, death is upsetting and it's to think about or whatever, but it's a reality, and it's not something you have to be afraid of, you know. I think that's the thing, that like we're very, very afraid of violence in this country, and I think that it's the fear of violence that gets you into gets a culture or a society into like extremely violent situations. It's, you know, you become the thing you avoid kind of thing. I don't know. I feel like I'm not being especially like eloquent about this, but I'm doing my best. Okay. No, I would not support conscription. No. That is not what I said. Yeah, the office should put in the effort to earn my respect through their actions. The fact that that is something that you have to say or anybody has to say right now is like a huge bummer. Huge bummer, because that is and like there have been times in this country where that used to be common sense, you know. Yeah, it's weird that we culturally have a distance from violence, but is also the cornerstone of so much popular entertainment. And yet sex, a thing most of us experience, is still a taboo. Yeah, absolutely. The whole sin of empathy thing going around a while ago. Yeah, it's disgusting. It's pathetic. No. This is a country run by children, psychotic children. It's so fucked. Mandatory cartel gore watching sessions. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, they're animals too. Eating animals isn't innately evil, but disrespecting them is. Yes. Yes. And in civilized cultures, that empathy and that those checks on power and that disrespect and these, these morals, these metaphysical assumptions about how a society must conduct itself are baked into the government, into how power is structured. And we used to be better about that. And that stopped when we started insisting that the purpose of a government is just to make everybody as rich as possible, And we deluded ourselves into thinking that, oh, well, if everybody needs to be as rich as possible under neoliberalism, then that means everybody's boats are rising. And they don't even say that anymore, They used to say that, like, well, capitalism isn't perfect, but it's getting everybody what they need. And they don't say that anymore. All they say now is, well, capitalism isn't perfect, but period. Capitalism isn't perfect, but there is no other solution. I hate that the way we teach the Holocaust is very death camp oriented, because maybe I think it arguably is very death camp oriented in a lot of places, but I think it's also just that the death camps are kind of what people get preoccupied with, because it's just so ghoulish, a lot more than, the stars or whatever. And I think there's a way pedagogically to refocus that attention, and sort of repackage it in such a way that we make it plain, in a way that we arguably hadn't or haven't enough, that the one leads to the other, that dance thing. I understand, that the Kennedy Center players are like out of work right now and looking for shit to do, but like, do something else maybe, fuck's sake. Oh my God. Exposing the reality of Gaza to people online results in one or two knee-jerk reactions, a twisted justification, or straight up denial. Yeah, well, that's a problem with infrastructure, isn't it? Infrastructure feeds into culture, but it is not the same as culture. Communications infrastructure. It's like a kind of really central to my my dissertation research, but also just kind of like central to the way that I am approaching media, and especially social media, is that we must not naturalize any of this. None of this is something to be taken for granted, can always be changed. I think that's a huge lesson that the left is in the process of learning from the early 2000s and early social media. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, it depends on teacher and class. Yep. Is there a place where they aren't afraid of violence? Yeah, of course. Oh, I mean, like not being afraid of violence and not wanting it to happen to you are two different, like these are two different things. Nobody wants a violent result for themselves, but that's a very different thing than being like phobic about it. Thinking of violence as something that is unnatural. It literally isn't. And that's not to say that we need to accept violence. This is not at all what I'm saying. I'm always like kind of leery about going into conversations like this, just because I worry that some people might misunderstand me as saying that violence is something that needs to be accepted. No. But we need to stop acting as if we as human beings are have evolved past it. And any instance of violence that happens either in our society or anybody else's is evidence of some kind of like some kind of savagery that needs to be, you know, crushed by the proper legitimate violence of the state. You know? I love how in Tolkien death was only ever meant for humans. Yeah, supposed to be our special gift, but Melkor ruined it by making it the norm. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. The Holocaust hasn't really ended. Its targets and perpetrators have simply changed and continue to. I went to a Holocaust museum in Mexico City once, that began with World War II and Nazi Germany, and it's structured so well. I wish I could remember what it's called. Next time I go to Mexico City again, I'll go back. So it starts with Nazi Germany, and it kind of like, it leads you to think that you've reached the end of the exhibit and that's it, and you're gonna, you know, be fed back out into the lobby and into the gift shop and go home and whatever. And instead it's just every single genocide that happened after we said never again, you know. All over Southeast Asia, in Africa, in Bosnia, all over the world through today. And it's so effective. Problem with Holocaust education is, to me, it separates you too much from Nazis and German people. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Mechanized death. Yep. And yes, homonyms. And this is what I'm saying. One thing I think they should teach in school is not to dehumanize people. Even evil people. People must recognize humans did this and not monsters. People. And that's you know, sort of part and parcel of what I'm saying when I say that we need to stop being fucking afraid of violence in the way that we are. We treat violence as if it is something that is unnatural and inhuman, and it isn't. Definitionally, it isn't. What is ASPD? I don't think I know what that is, and I can't pick it up through context clues. Yeah. Let's see. ASPD. Antisocial personality. Okay. Gotcha. I hope your friend works through their issues. They do not deserve violence either. Nobody does. If we recognize the whole of the person as someone with the capacity for good, but who chooses to do bad, then we can better understand the actions they make and work to correct it. Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. Facebook caused a genocide. Yep. I was writing about that literally yesterday in my dissertation. My best friend is what you call a sociopath. Jesus, I hope they are your best friend. I hope they're not just letting you think that. My goodness. How do you view the violence in Blood Meridian? Good question. I actually have a very precise understanding of violence in Blood Meridian. Violence in Blood Meridian, I think, functions as setting. That's its literary function. As a literary device, violence is setting. It's not action or plot or whatever. It's just the environment that everybody in that story lives in. Yeah, 3-body problem. Yeah. Okay, I gotta get out of here. It's after 9 p.m. and I hungry. So let's see. I gotta get out of Quick save. I wonder if we'll ever find the the settlers ever again. Who knows? Where could they be? Possibly I will purchase and download Elden Ring, and that will be the next stream. We'll see how I feel about it. Somebody just drove back past my house. That makes sense, CC. Well, good. I wish them well. I wish you all well. And I'll see you Monday.